Hello, 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 hello. It's time to get going in Matthew 26. We've been in this chapter for like 4 days, but the things slowed way down as we got to the good news of his passion. Thanks for joining us today. We'll wait for Facebook to catch up a little bit. I'll take these bad boys off so it doesn't distract any of you guys. Remember also to keep giving to your local congregation. Your congregations rely on your gifts to move forward, to spread the gospel, and to do good works in their community. And after you've done that, go ahead to hirethings.org and hit the give button. Give to them too, because they're doing a great job of passing on the faith to the next generation. Oh, gonna have a great day. Hi, Carol, Terry Lynn, Jennifer, Joe. Joe Madden is in the house. Bobby Joe, Felicity, Heather, and Colonel Davis. Hi, Cheryl. Not to be confused with who's the nasty lady in Tiger King Cheryl that you helped me with? Steve, Gene. Gene, has Minneapolis settled down yet at all for you? We're praying for you. Praying for you. Hi, Linda Kemmel. Linda knew me when I was a college student, so you have to always be good around Linda because she knows the college stories from when I was... Carol, that's right. You got it, Cheryl. Oh, it's Deaconess Ellie, so we will have to do our best to be on our bestest behavior because, as we say in Higher Things, it's even on our name tag, the deaconess is always right. Hi, Kristen Sanchez. Excellent, excellent. I got to make 2 quick shares, and then we will be hauling the mail. Hi, Colonel Davis. Erica, I just told Gene that I'm praying for you guys up in Minneapolis. We're praying for you guys. Thor is hurting. Hey, buddy. Are you there? People want to see you, buddy. Anybody want a treat? Who wants a treat? Does anybody want a treat? Ooh. What a good boy you are. Hi, Arlene. Good to see you. A couple of shares and we will be hauling the mail. All right, good. Excellent. Boom, boom. All right. I want you in Matthew 26, beginning with the 57th verse. All right. Good. Let's roll, shall we? Pastor Lestico is in the house. Hi, Sue. Sue's here. Sue served on the board of directors for Higher Things for a long time. She was the adult in the room. It's not Thor's birthday. It's just he had a very cute picture from 4 years ago in my feed, and I wanted to give you guys a before and after. Hey, come here, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on, buddy. Whoa. All right. Here he is. All right. Like this. No. Swap. Nobody wants to swap. Where are the good treats? All right, let's roll. His birthday's in February 10th. All right. Then those having seized Jesus led him. That's more like dragged him, but led him away, brought him before to Caiaphas, the high priest. where the scribes and the elders were gathered. Where they were gathering. Can I have a kiss? High five? Whoa, greetings from Brazil. There you go. Good boy. Peter, following him at a macrothen. That's like a little distance from far away. He's following him from a distance. He's following him from far away. As far as the courtyard of the high priest, and going inside, he sat with the attendants or officers to see the end. To see the end. Hi, buddy. Puppies in the zone. And now the chief priests and the Holion, the whole Sanhedrin, were seeking false witnesses. You see the word? You can see the word martyreon in the midst of the pseudo. So they're looking for pseudo witnesses, false witnesses against Jesus. In order to put him to death. They wanted to put him to death. That's what they want. But they were not able to find many to come forward, many false witnesses to come forward. Yeah, to see the telos, the end. The end. Finker, I almost kept you on Skype, and I would have just let you pop in at any time and talk. Because that was such a good video short. Pastor Finker is doing the video short with me and you, right? On Friday on the Athanasian Creed. It's going to be spectacular. We need to come up with a fancy name for that, Erica. Fridays with Finker? No, that doesn't work. Fun word Fridays with the Dean? No, that doesn't work. Well, anyway, continuing on. But they found none, though many false witnesses came forward. At last, 2 came forward. Okay? Yeah. TGI Dean. Thank goodness it's the Dean. Thank God for Finker. Look at everybody helping out. That's not going to go to his head at all. Can I have a kiss? Kisses? Can I have kisses? Kisses. Kisses. High five. High five. Oh, what a good boy you are. Whoops, you missed. There you go. All right. They found 2. 61. They said, this man, bet you he goes and gets a toy. They said, this man said, I'm able to katalusai, to demolish this temple, the temple of God, and that's dia plus the genitive, after 3 days, build it back up again. Cindy's going to like it. He's got a toy. Yeah, he's got a toy. That's what directly follows his sitting with me. 62. Put you at the top. And the chief priest stood up and said to him, have you no answer? 62. Have you no answer to what these Les kata marturusin, what they witness against you. Hi, Kathy. The Lord be with you. I'm sorry about the toy, Kathy. I can't do anything about it. I can only hope that he doesn't squeak it too loudly. I'm sorry. I put all the toys away and he still finds them. I don't know what to do. And Jesus remained silent. You know, it's kind of like as a lamb before its shears is silent, so he opened not his mouth. Just guessing. But Jesus remained quiet. And the chief priest said to him, I put you under oath, or I'm not, this is not a word I'm familiar with, so you'll have to bear with us here. Oh, it's right here. Let's drag this over here. The old B-dag is helping us out here. We'll put it right here. I compel you. There you go. I, shocking enough, am not a, I'm not a big fan of the word compel. No, I just didn't recognize it. I compel you by the living God that if you are the Christ, the Son of God, are you the Christ? Tell us. Which, which is sort of odd, don't you think? I mean, isn't it sort of odd, don't you think? There's God sitting before them. Hey, buddy, you want to trade me? Come on, give me a toy for a treat. Oh, no, you don't want a toy for a treat? Okay. Well, no, you'll put it down, but I'm not going to reach it. You know, it's interesting that they, come here, boy. Bring the treat to me. Oh, no, we're playing keep away. They've got God in front of them. And they want to bind him to answer. Before God, you tell us if you're the Christ. And don't miss it. There were false witnesses before there were witnesses against him. But while he was on patrol, I was able to snatch the treat from the thing from him. Here he comes. What's going on? Where's my treat? Where's my toys? And he's just going to go get a new one. And Pastor Finker's right here. Even though the guy's evil, even though he's the high priest of a new order, even though he's the guy, he still respects and answers the high priest. As he said earlier, respect their office of the Pharisees, but not their works. We got another toy under here. Oh, he's very, very sharp. Hi, buddy. Look over here. It's over here. Missed. You have said so, Jesus said. But I tell you, from now on, you will see the Son of Man at the right hand. And he's quoting Daniel. You will see the Son of Man at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven. I want you to sort of take this in for a second. These were false witnesses. They didn't agree. He could have gotten out of it. All he had to do is keep his mouth shut. And they don't have enough. If the glove don't acquit, you've got to acquit. glove don't fit, you've got to acquit. Cochran at the trial of OJ. They don't have enough. They don't have enough. And just when their case is falling apart and they're swear to God, they're doing the all of that. Just when that happens, he helps them. And I think Pastor Finker's right. He submits to the office of the high priest. And he gives the answer he always gives. So are you the Christ? Well, you say so. But then he quotes Daniel 7, which is the Son of Man approaching the throne of the Ancient of Days. And they know without a doubt that he's saying that he's a Christ. Now there's something that's coming up here that's no good. And the high priest tore his garments, saying, blasphemy! He's blasphemed. What further? We have basically no need for further witnesses. Or why do we still need witnesses? Now you have heard his blasphemy. A couple of things. High priests are not supposed to tear their robes. And he tears his robes. Here's an interesting thing from Origen on this. We find in the law several cases of swearing, and now on this occasion, the priest commands Jesus to swear by the living God. In this regard, I believe it is improper for one who wants to live by the gospel to command someone to swear. Likewise, the Lord himself says in the gospel, "But I say to you, do not swear at all." But yet here they are. Here they are doing that. It's so very opposite between the one who wants to save and the ones that want to kill. He tore his robes. What do you think? What do y'all think? And they answered him, he is subject to or liable to or deserving death. And Finker, I think that is probably right. And Fleming's got some points too, where he's doing the high priest's job for him. He's confessing the Christ. You have said so. 67. And they spat on him, on his face, and they struck him with their fists. And they slapped him, saying, "Prophesy to us, Christ, who it is who's hitting you." Oh my gosh. Well, it's hard to read. It's really, really hard to read. I mean, do you understand who this is? This is Yahweh. You shall have no other gods before my face. So what do? They slap him, they beat on him, they spit on him. Because they have God before their face. And he doesn't measure up to what they think God should be. if you look at him, he's just not all that. You all got to see this. He was asleep, but he had to go get that treat then. One more, buddy. Oh, you missed it. Just take that in. He could have gotten away. He could have gotten out of it. He could have not opened his mouth. But then he does the high priest's job. And then the high priest tears his robes, which is forbidden in the Old Testament. Forbidden. Do you remember what he said about what to do if people slap you? What's going on there, buddy? Something's going on. I think the treat went underneath the lamp. The whole lamp's going to come down shortly because he's going to knock the lamp down in order to get the treat. Yeah, there's a treat underneath the lamp. Oh, no. This video may come to an end shortly. Now. Hey, buddy, leave it. Get back in your bed. Leave it. Hey. Hey. Thor. Leave it. Get back in your bed. Good boy. Back in your bed. Thank you. $69. Peter. Don't forget Peter. Don't forget Peter. Don't forget Peter. Remember Peter? I will follow you to prison and to death. All will turn away, but I won't. Remember Peter? Oh, cut back to Peter. And Petros, the rock. Upon this rock I will build my church. He was sitting outside in the courtyard, and a paidiske, that is a female servant, a little girl, comes up to him, one female servant, saying, Kai, also you are with Jesus, the Galilean. So, it's a little girl. It's not a big guard. It's not a big guard. Not a big, muscular, big guy. Not a big guy. Not a big guy. Yeah, I have a hard time watching The Passion too, Jennifer. Not a big guy. It's a slave girl. It's a little girl. She says, Kai su, Esthemeth Jesu to Galileu? Aren't you also? Aren't you also a Galilean? He denied, he repudiated, he disowned. Check out that word. He refused, he denied, he disowned. But in the presence of all, uk oida ti legis. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you say. And when he got out of the entrance, another saw him and said to him, Hutos, this man, this one was with Jesus of Nazareth. $72. And he disowned him again, this time with an oath. Uk oida ton anthropon. I do not know the man. Little girl, someone else. Metamikron, after a little bit. Others, like who were standing around, came up to Peter, said, Alethos, truly, you were with him. You were out from him. For your lalea, that's onomatopoeia, your accent, your speech, the way your tongue moves. Your tongue is clear evidence, gives clear evidence. You're a Galilean. You've got an accent. Oh, William, what a great comment. I feel for Peter because I know I've done the same in ways I'm probably not aware of. And Eric's got a great observation too. Like, would you help carry Jesus's cross, the meme? And the answer is, well, his best buddy denied him. I do not know the man. Hi, buddy. Want to trade me? Hey, buddy. Want to trade me? Well, what a good boy you are. What a good boy you are. Um, 75. And he began to curse and swear. And notice, remember that they notice that the high priest wanted him to swear. Swear to God that you're the Christ. He's swearing, Peter's swearing, but they're all swearing in unbelief. Origen's right on that. They're all swearing in their unbelief. It's awful. It's awful. Chrysostom. I like Chrysostom. Oh, strange and wonderful acts, when indeed he saw his master seize Peter was so fervent as both to draw his sword and cut off the man's ear. But when it was natural for him to be more indignant and to be inflamed and to burn, hearing such riflings, then he became a denier. For who would not have been inflamed to indignation by the things that were done? Yet the great disciple, overcome by fear, so far from showing indignation, even denies and cannot even stand the threat of a teeny and lowly servant girl. That there is the golden tongue preacher, Chrysostom. Wow. Cursed and sweared. Cursed and called down hell. People should be afraid of little girls. Okay, Jacoby. Okay. Cursed and sweared. Ook, oida. I do not know the man. I do not know the man. Kai ethueos, and suddenly and immediately the rooster cried out. He called. And Peter remembered the words of Jesus, the sayings of Jesus. Remember the saying of Jesus, or the words which Jesus said, that before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. And he ex elthon, he went out, exo outside, and he eklausen, pick gross, he wept bitterly. Went out and he wept bitterly. He went out and he wept bitterly. That ends 26. This giant in the faith is undone by a little girl, another dude, and a crowd. Jesus' best friend denies him. Luke said, this is Chrysostom again, Luke says that Christ looked upon him, and this made it clear that he denied him and was not even aware of how far he had fallen into forgetfulness. This happened even though the rooster had crowed. He needed a further remembrance from his master. Jesus' look was greater than any voice. Peter was so full of fear. Just thought I would add some golden tongue preacher here from the 6th century. I'm with William. I've betrayed Jesus for far less than 30 pieces of silver, and I've denied him to far less than a little servant girl. Whenever somebody, whenever I see your smiling face, I have to smile myself. Now, whenever somebody goes and talks about how they would be for Jesus, just stop. Just stop. You wouldn't, you couldn't, you wouldn't. You would be just like this guy. His best friend, you denied him. You're right, Grace. What have I done? Sounds like Anakin after he cuts off Mace Windu's arm. What have I done? He is outside the faith, by the way. Peter, the great disciple, Rome's first pope, is outside the faith here. He's denied him, disdained him, repudiated him, disowned him. Not my Lord. I don't know the man. I don't know the man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know the man. I don't know the man. I don't know what you're talking about. And we've all done it for far less. When we do it, it's for somebody to give us props. When we do it, it's so we'll be accepted by the world. When we do it, it's so that people would like us. He did it because he thought there was going to be another cross with him on it. But we don't even need to be threatened with death before we'll start adding, I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, right. Pastor Finker's right. He's no better than Judas, and Cheryl's right. Never to be confused with Carol. Neither are we. Thomas, you're right as well. Their whole purpose is to kill him. They're asking questions in order to kill him. Eric, Judas is a lesson in how important it is to really, and this is a quick aside, Judas is a lesson of how important it is where you go to church. I know we tell ourselves it doesn't matter, they're going to a Christian church when our kids go to a different church. It's really important where you go to church. Judas goes back to the people who gave him the money and tries to give it back. That's coming up. And they don't take it. It matters where you go to church. It matters. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So when morning happened, the council took all the chief priests and the elders of the people, they counseled together, synagogue together, against Jesus. They're akata tu Jesu. They're against Jesus so that they can kill him. And they bound him and dragged him and handed him over to Pilate, the governor. And seeing this, Judas, the one who betrayed him, seeing that they had pronounced that he was condemned to death, guess what Judas does? Guess what Judas does? Judas is very sorry. Judas changes his mind. Judas metamolomai. This he has second thoughts about what he's done. And he returns the 30 pieces of silver to the high priest and the elders, saying, I have sinned, betraying innocent blood. That's an alpha privative that I'm not familiar with. I think this is not guilty blood. I got to do some research on that, but I think that's an alpha privative. And they said, T pros, hemos, su, opse. What is this? This isn't our problem. This is your problem. Eric, you got it. He goes and he tries to give it back. He goes desperate to get forgiveness. He goes back to church, but he goes to the wrong one. This is the part where we should be sad for Judas. Now, he brought it on himself. He's the son of perdition. He betrayed the Lord for 30 pieces of silver. But you and I have done the same, far less. Where you go to church actually matters. They're the folks that gave him the money. And they're like, oh, it's your problem. You got to work that out on your own. Work that out on your own. It's your problem. But you gave me the money. Many Christian churches that when you bring them your sins, they tell you you have to work it out on your own. You have to deal with that. Believe more, change more, recommit, do more. Through Judas, we see ritual acts no longer are accepted as penance. Thomas, I'm going to have to think about that. Only Christ pays the full penance and gives us grace. Which is another way of saying he could have gone to Jesus. Do you believe that if he had gone to Jesus and gone, I messed up, save me, that there wouldn't have been forgiveness even for him? But he goes back to the people. He goes back to the people. And they're typical clergy. Ugh. Sometimes I can't stand clergy. Throwing down the silver in the temple, he withdrew and he went out and he hung himself. Because what else is he going to do? He betrayed the Son of God. What else is he going to do? Well, now can't leave money on the table. The chief priest, you could just see them. Can't you just see them picking up the 30 pieces? It's evil money. Yeah. But we got to pick it up. Got to pay the bills. It's evil money, but we got to pay the bills. Ugh. You know, I've never thought about this, Finker, but if you're still there, earlier in the chapter, the woes about how wrong they were, how they were replacing God with money, they're doing it again. They're doing it again. Don't swear on the temple, swear on the gold in the temple. Don't swear on the altar, swear on what's going on the altar, the money that's on the altar. And in Mark, which is cheating because it's a different gospel, but they're shaking down the widow for her last 2 pennies. And Jesus is like, you know what? Jerusalem has got to go. It's got to go. It's got to go. No more Jerusalem. Done. Here, Judas, take your money back. I've sinned. No forgiveness. No mercy. That's your problem. You work it out. Beware of any clergyman that tells you that you have to work it out. That there is a false teacher. Judas being sorry isn't enough. You see, repentance, Christian repentance, isn't just that you're sorry. It's that you believe that Jesus saves you. So Christian repentance is contrition and faith. It's contrition and absolution. So what else is he going to do? Sandra's right. Joe, you should marry that girl. Sandra's right. He handled it himself. When faced with that much law, all there's left to do is Kobayashi Maru. The end. Back to the clergy. Is there nothing more disgusting than bad clergy? I kid with Lestico. He's a faithful, faithful pastor. These guys, not faithful. But the chief priest, taking the silver, said, "It is not good for us to throw this into the treasury. For tima imatos estin. It is blood money." By the way, do they know what they did? Do they know that it's blood money? They just said it was blood money. Do they know what they did? You bet your sweet bippy they know what they did. And I don't even know what a bippy is. But they know what they did. We can't put that in the general fund. We'll have to put it in the special fund. Because clergy know ways to take money. I'm having a meltdown right now. So they met together. That's called a voters' meeting. I missed a question from you, Felicity. Repaste it, and I will answer it before we end the video. Okay. Do you think his body's still hanging there? No, I think it's rotten. I think it was collected for relics, which were probably handed out in the Middle Ages. This was one of Judas's bones. So they took counsel. And bought with them the potter's field as a burial place for strangers. Wasn't that nice? What is it? Wasn't that nice, Cheryl? Wasn't that nice? Wasn't that nice? Let's make a special fund and use this money for the poor and burial place. And thus it's called a field of blood to this day. Why is it called a field of blood? Because it's blood money, bought with blood money. And this fulfilled that which was spoken through the prophet Jeremiah, saying, they took the 30 pieces of silver, the price on whom the price was set by the sons of Israel, and they gave them for the potter's field, as the Lord directed me. So he goes back. I have to check that link later on, Newman. This goes back. This goes back to the scriptures, which again, they saw, the prophet sees what's going to happen and prophesies to it. He sees what's going to happen, and the Lord sees what's going to happen and then tells us in the past that it's going to happen. All right. A couple of things before I let you go. I want you to go on your smart device to your app store, whether it's Google or Amazon or iTunes, and search Higher Things Lutheran. And the first one on there will be the brand spanking new Higher Things app. It'll work on your iPad. It'll work on your phone. It'll work on your Android device. And there you will find all of Higher Things' content. The daily reflections pushed to you. The articles. There's one by me today. The video shorts. All of it. Go there, get it done, find it, because this will be your portal to daring to be Lutheran. Okay, on the web. So go there, find that, get all that good content. There's just going to be more and more and more and more and more. Hi, Pat. Thanks, Pat. All right, do it today. All right, tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? We will continue. Looks like we're in 27, and we'll be up to 14 and following. My AC's leaking. It's going to be a banner day. I'm Pastor Borghardt. Thor's asleep, not tending to the AC leaking. And this has been another Bible study, and we will see you tomorrow at 2. Have a great day.